The reason why I have to split the video because if it's too long, it's just don't make sense. It's real difficult for me to rewatch it again, or simply it's too heavy to upload. It could cause some issue in later on. Uh, in my previous speaking, just 1 second. I look at the world and I actually look at countries like Ukraine. I really see is so. I actually worry for every country in the world. They all have their own things, difficulties. Um, I have been to United States before. I have some comment about the country. Actually, it's a chaotic country. It has a lot of problems on its own as well. I mean, look up so homeless people. I actually wonder why. Uh, what made them become homeless? I still curious like that until today, but I'm not really bothered to find out the answer. It just happened to be all around the world. I see a lot of people, even in Vietnam. I also see people lying on the street, and the question why they do that. Don't have their own place to live, or they just have nowhere to go. There's plenty of question to make up on that topic. But honestly speaking, I hate to see that happening. I mean, if you are able to work, right, you're supposed to be able to really have some kind of living on your own. The worst thing can happen for a human is you have an accident or you have some illness, and that make you unable to join the labor force. And if in that case, yeah, it just sucks. I mean, if I were in that case, yeah, if I completely disabled, I would not just want to live anymore, because it's so much a burden for everyone who responsible to keeping me alive and keeping the things running for me. So I would just ask to die voluntarily, or if not, I will just enjoy the miserable. I would read a lot of books, watch a lot of movie, things like that, to really just satisfy my curiosity. But obviously, that is a very extreme case. It could happen to anyone. I'm just trying to assume myself in the situation of those people who are disabled. But for those who actually have their sixth sense working, have their four limbs working, I would say just go any job, go take any job you can. I used to be desperate looking for a job. In terms of when I was drop out of college, I just feel really, you know, I just want to have a job during that time. So I was asking for a businessman to actually adopt me. I have been to his office once and try to know what I can do with him. I'm not sure how he's doing right now, how is his business going, but I mean, I was trying to join a foreign exchange, uh, and I have no clue what I'm doing. I just know that I need to advertise his platform, and I don't have any skill of marketing or trying to expanding trying to sell his product. So at that time, I kind of really have no way to go until I find out I can do some coding, and it's a very good start for me when I have my first teacher. Yeah, when thinking about that, I actually really want to invite him for coffee. He really got me something. I have a lot of good teacher throughout my career, and until now I have to be teacher of my own. Uh, that is totally makes sense. So, anyways, you know what going up next, right? I mean, I just continue on what I'm doing and try to be the best of what of who I am, of my job, things like that. So, okay, I thought I already installed NetTunes, but it's not here. Uh, so let me check for some curve we get and telnet. Uh, except for NetTunes, I'm not sure why. And GQ, okay, it's not here as well. It's really strange to see those kind of things not being installed. So it's not really reliable, that reliable, you know. So I think it's the cloudinit packages. Let me try to. So I mean, these guys actually have no clue of package update and upgrade. So there's a package upgrade here. I'm not sure why it's missing the letter S. So let me just exit it and run it again. So talking about the homeless people, uh, you know, many people they don't even care about that. Most people told me when I asked why they are homeless when I was in US state. Uh, you know, for example, I'm a host family. You know, things. Those people I meet in the school and in the bus stop, they actually stating that homeless people actually they just lazy. They just don't want to work, and that to be happening in Vietnam too. I see some of my very close relatives. They actually don't want to work. I'm not sure why. Is there any problem with them? I think they just don't have access to the right education. Uh, they don't have the right access to the right education. They should know to what to do and where they can fit, where they can fit to this world. So it's very difficult to tell, you know, whether it's some kind of mindset problems or some education problem. If I was my father, I would actually guide them to know what should they do. You know, I'm not trying to force them to go in the way that I would like to, but I just tell them to learn this, learn that, and be good at something. Because when he is good at something, he can actually make some money about that. You know, some very weird profession like being a comedy actor, um, you know, maybe just a simple job like more common no job like a plumber or you know um, cleaner, something like that. I would say even that it's still better than not doing nothing. You know, you can do a job that most people can do, but uh, it's still better than you just lying around and waiting to become a homeless person. So a lot of people say they just not it's not simply homeless because they not necessarily they are lazy, but because they just in too much debt. And if they resume to work again, the bank come to them, ask them to for money, you know. So in terms of the system, is actually killing them. And I hate to say, but there's a lot of people in verse of collapse. They all have only two way. More first they accept to be homeless and continue living. The all the people they would just commit suicide, and that is the worst scenario. So in my own words, I would say, know, I see those kind of example in my life before. I heard news about people who actually abandon their whole, uh, abandon their family, the whole their assets that they accumulate in their life, and they choose to die because they are in too much debt. I see in your state when people starting spending too much during the crisis, before the crisis, spending, uh, lending the bank, and simply buy things that that that's not there, and so that is a very sad thing to see when they spend too much and they earn, and then they are in deep trouble after being in debt. I would say I really afraid of being in that kind of situation, so I really try to not owning people or anything. So it's really my problem too when I try to reduce the amount of I spend. So if you spend less, it's actually much better than you have to owe you have to lend someone money in the future. So in general, I would say let's just try to not become a person who you have to control your life somehow, especially when you open up and you acknowledge about your situation. I think my video should be end here because I will go to the next video. So this video I mostly update the template and install the previous packages, and I actually want to formalize this one a bit more. Uh, yeah, so if you look at my TFRs right now, you can see that I actually specify the memory and the CPU socket and cores, and I have the storage size, and I have the load balancers, things like that. With a combination of these things, you can surely understand that I actually really want to allocate these appearances. The last things I'm not sure how to do, uh, is actually I need to make sure, not only this appearances is being allocated, but also the private key for the Ansible node. I want to create a private key and inject to it, and this global search should be injected with the Ansible. Oh yes. I really want this global search to be injected with a private key, so I don't need to bootstrap it up again another time. Um, just one thing I really afraid of happening is that when I exposing my notes, one of my notes out, which is a rare case, I would not do that anytime soon. But in case I want to explore it, uh, yeah. So in case I want to explore it, I'm not sure, man. I don't want to allow any user to access my root users. But for my yeah, I actually want to deny any password. So let's try with another sample here. I really want to disable the password in case I don't want it. But you still need the password somehow, right, to access it through it through your console. So in this case, you actually need a password. but I would grant that password to be trusted by only certain IP addresses, not everyone. But in this case, I would not expose any S422 outside my networks. Uh, for the unstable node, I don't want to have the password for it. So it's really important, to really disable the password login for uh, accessible nodes from outside the networks. So bad. I'm really sleepy now. So, so what I will do is actually remove this script for now because I don't see it has any values here. So let's just remove it. It's just fun as well. So it's already working in the way I want it to be. So we can remove it. And another thing is that I have never tried to install it in another node. So let me try with Lychee. Okay. If the even Lychee is working, then I can confident provision this in become my main template. So if it be very similar to what I have here in the this part, but this one is kind of outdated anyways. I not really use ISO image anymore because the cloudinit is the way to go already. So some of them I can actually pick it up by the memory, the core socket, and this configuration is actually useful for me. So I could just use that anyways. So if I drag this out as it will copy the whole thing below this one, and I can actually compare it. But before I do that, just want to reduce over this one. And something I need to configure in additional for all of this one is actually I want to configure the password for the users. If it actually need the password, then I can just add it there, and if it does not, then I do not need to include it in the template. So the password is not necessarily needed. So I would just go with the log password equal to true. If the password is not available, then we just don't need to include it in the template. Yeah, so Terraform template. Yeah, so I mean, we just check if it's available, then we can just go with it. So here is actually has some kind of yeah. So anyways, I can try with the no password at all, and if the template render out turn out to be correct, then I can just skip this one. So the attribute I'm trying to use is this one, and in this part I can actually follow through. So the idea of this one is actually let me just remove the root for now. So the idea of this one is actually we have a CR render, we have the template here. I'm not sure why it's failing. So the password is actually a variable, so I'm not sure if I actually need that. But yeah, I can just use this one for now just to see if it's working. For Ansible, you actually need the root, able to access the root. I would do whatever shit could do to benefit the people in Vietnam, as long as it's good for everyone. If you actually try to harm someone and to benefit yourself, it's just the shit the things to do. I would not do, never do it myself as well. It's just shit. So the main thing I want to tell you guys here is actually not to do with something that's harmful for anyone else. So if you actually attack another country like Russia do right now, it's that it's just not right, you know. I'm not trying to against the Russian people, and I think Putin has a reason for them to do that, for him to do what he's doing now. But no matter what the reason, attack another country is shit. So perhaps I would say, um, just not doing shitty things like invade in another country, and even China if they're trying to take something by force. I willingly to against it. You know, it's so much political. Any political reason is just shit. If you talk about if you there's things like this, if you kill someone to save someone, it's how much it costs. Yeah, it's reasoning. If you learn about reasoning, you calculate. You don't care about costing life because it costs life anyway. Either choice you make, right? So you choose the choice that is the there's two scenarios. So the first, I will just go if there is a choice obviously to make. Uh, if if you had to save money from lives, if you since you have to either choose one or two without any other option, you know, then yeah, you know what I mean, right? Just kill the guys with the minority. So there's a lot of question about moral of the human. It's really tough. One of that is choosing between uh, morality. So another thing I could say to you guys that, for example, like if you are if you have to kill someone to actually save other people, you do that. Obviously you don't have to do that, right? Because if you kill someone, you simply a murderer. So don't do that. Like, will you kill Hitler? If you know him, will you kill million people like that? Even myself, no, I would not do that kind of shit because I'm not a killer. That is, in bottom of my heart, I will not kill anyone. That's so simple. Even that guy is Satan. Is something. Don't tell me coward. If you can do that, you just do that. I'm not the one who played that role in this world. So it's very important to acknowledge about that, about your mission. So if you are not really do you know there's a lot of movie describe about that situation where you have to kill someone to save someone's life. No, so now here's another case when someone a murderer come to your home and attempt to murder your wife, your parents. Will you kill that? Will you, and you have a gun in your hand. Will you kill that murderer? Now it's another very different situation, right? You know what I mean, right? It's very different situation. So in this case, yeah, I will just shut the hell up all that shit because I try to protect what I believe in. So now go back to the Hitler question. If Hitler actually come to your country and go and bomb your towns, bomb your relatives, bomb your everyone you know, should you kill that person and that would and to prevent that from happening? Hell yes. Now I think again. Yeah. Why not? I kill that shitty shit. Yeah. It's difficult, when you get to contradict yourself over time again, and you just realize that yeah, this is the right way to do it. There's not. There's not. So yeah, it's not easy. Obviously, it's not easy. You know, to really talk about that, that kind of that kind of things. So in many case, I would just not when I thinking about doing something very demoralized. I had to tell you guys that I just don't want to do things I don't want to do. For example, like uh, robbing someone or trying to lie to someone. I just don't want kind of dramatic things in life. It's just not worth it. So you know, uh, template by check file content. You know the way to set this out is just you actually uh, you know what? Let's just change this for a second. I would just not place everything on this one. I would place. I think this is a lot cleaner than you not doing that. So yeah. Let's try with the can. Okay. So can is another way to define this one. uh, so yes you can password. So there's one way I can do this is the try. In this case we will be working. But yeah, I forgot the local command here. So there's a way to do this. I will construct this variable file in the locals.yam. So I think it's probably better to put it there. So in this case, it will be local user data with the variable inside that. You can see I can put in some kind of user config. We have a password and things like that. Thing in this case, we can check if the users look up for the users if it actually has something in that. So the way I do it here, it will be different for a bit. So the whole thing's here. It will in. We just reduce this for a second. So it's local with cleaners. Okay. So the idea is when I put it into user or something like that. I can here add much create as much user as I want. But for now, I try to make things a bit more simple. I'm not sure in the future if I want to add any more user, but now I don't want to really focus on thinking about that. So what I can do is simply add this one, use the threshold and things like that. I think this will work. So by doing this, you basically look up for the users, just user, and looking for the password is there, and then it will fails. I think that works already. So yeah, so this will be your user, this will be password, and if the user password is different to none, then I can just write it down. SSH key will be in user as well. So things like that. And yeah, obviously this one. So this will definitely give the password. Yeah, so we have no password here, so which is really good. Let me just I wish I can make this a little beautiful. Okay, the hash password is wrong. Yeah. I think for the if and it actually create a new lines. Uh, I'm not sure how to. Okay, it actually has some kind of it's very different with Jinja template actually. That is really interesting. So yeah, let me just that's one here and there. For sudo, I surprisingly, it's actually okay. We will remove this one. Yeah. Let's just remove the whole new line before and after this one. So for the root users, defaultly, I don't want you guys to be able to access it. I mean to use the password. So root user will be added by default without question. But the most important thing is that you will not be able to use the password. So it definitely be fails. It choose by default logging the password, and we have no password at all. So it has the right key actually. Yeah. So we will go with the share. We go with the name. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's good enough. So I will just escape this one and Kubeadm from proxmap. Login again and run plan and apply. So in this case, I actually update this template to have root users. Okay, so here we don't have the local user data. So let me check again for the local user types. So what is expecting here is you actually refer the user local data. And it is correct, right? I mean, doesn't have a user. So here is an interesting part. You have to render out the whole thing here in this one, and You will just load each of the key into this one. So one of the most important things that how can I configure it a bit more. So if I expand this out, but I know, you know what, I will do this after this, after I have this testing finished. My next step is actually in the main.tf here. There's something I can pick it up and move to the cloudinit resources, and then I have to remap this over again. Vietnam is actually like a innovation. I honestly telling you guys that we need more intelligent products. We need to contribute more to the world. I think Facebook is actually in the verge of collapse, right? Not really verge of collapse, but for social networking, I still use Facebook for communication with friends, but it become less of my favorite place to go. You know, the good company that grow well, they are not only good at selling, they are also very good at hiring. When they able to hire good people, they can actually, you know, potentially grow because they have the right people to fit the system. I honestly thinking that if you actually want to build a good company, like, there's a lot of advice out there, you already know. You have to have a good right people around you, right people here, not necessarily only good at their works, but also very fit with your plan. So I mean video your everything like your vision, things like that. So if they share the same vision and try for the greater good and really work with you, then you can actually try for uh, a bigger goal. So I look at a lot of different example like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and all the companies that growing very well since the beginning, like 600% throughout just few years. They actually very good at hiring the right people. So when I look at the every company in the world, I try to seek when I try to apply for a job, I really seek for the right managers. And if I see my vision fit with the team and the company in general, that is where I want to go. So if I meet the hiring manager and he showed me the vision of the company, like how he will achieve his goal to become number one in the world, I'm in any case what is his vision. I really want to know that. Okay, what the hell happening with my data file? So let me take it again. So we render this out. Probably unique this to this place. We render it to the config file. Okay, that's strange. Let me check in. Okay, we are already here, so and it's stating that it's failing to find the user data, right? I think there's plenty of change that I have made earlier. I'm not sure it will affect my. I'm not really sure. So one of the things that I actually removed this one. I don't see any problem with it. Oh, okay, it makes sense. I don't actually upload to it. So you have to do a CI upload to area of your nodes, and yeah, if they are using the same key, and then I think that's just fine. There's no problem with it. But yeah. So what I can do now, it's really depend. You have to upload this data file for every node. I will do this in tomorrow. I need to sleep now. Thank you.